Good morning, and this is a brief summary about a recommendation of ITU. The title is Methodology for the Subjective Assessment of the Quality of Television Pictures. So, the recommendation ITU RBT 513 provides methodologies for the assessment of picture quality, including general methods of tests, the grading scales, and the viewing conditions. The role of the radio communication sector is to ensure the rational, equitable, efficient, and economical use of the radio frequency spectrum by all radio communication services, including satellite services, and carry out studies with a limited frequency range on the basis of which recommendations are adopted. So for that reason it's so important the recommendations of this institute. So what consider this recommendation? The recommendation have several considerations, but I think that three are the more important. And the first one is that a large amount of information has been collected about the methods used in various laboratories for the assessment of picture quality. And this is a guarantee that the methodology is not only one opinion, and it's so important because it is like the big picture of what we have today about these kind of methods. The second one is that examination of these methods show that there exists a considerable measure of agreement between the different laboratories about a number of aspects of the test. So we in this methodology try to generalize all the opinions and all the valid opinions that use actually for the investigation in the laboratories. And the third one is that the introduction of such processing signals and services will increase the likelihood that the performance of each section of the signal chain will be conditioned by processes carried out in previous parts of the chain. So the big questions are: what recommends that the methodology? So the first recommendation is the grading scales and the viewing condition for assessment of picture quality. The second one is the importance of establishing the basis of subjective assessment, and the last one is the way how the collect data should be processing in accordance with the statistical techniques. And the last one recommendation is the most important because that allows the exchange of information between different laboratories, and this will contribute to high level investigation in the future. About the document, I found interesting a methodology that they explain in appendix, in the second appendix. That is the method of determining a composite failure characteristic for program content and transmission conditions. Why I found this important? Because a composite failure characteristic relates perceived image quality to probability of occurrence in practice in ways that explicitly consider both programs content and transmission conditions, but the methods in practice are impracticable. This alternative method consists of three stages that are real and we can implement in the real life. These stages are: the first one is program content analysis. This stage involves two operations. The first one, an appropriate measure of program content is derived, and second, the probabilities with which values of this measure occur in practice are estimated, so are real, so are calculated in the real life. A program content measure is a statistic that captures aspects of program content that stress the ability of the system under consideration to provide perceptually a faithful reproduction of program materials. The second stage is the transmission channel analysis. This stage involves two operations as the first one. The first is a measure of transmission channel performance is derived, and the second, the probabilities with which values of this measure occur in practice and in practice are estimated. And the last stage is the derivation of composite failure characteristics. This stage involves a subjective experiment in which program content and transmission conditions are varied jointly according to probabilities to establish in the first two stages. The basic methods used to double stimuli continuous quality process, and in particular the version recommended for motion sequences. That is the most important part of this methodology, of this last methodology, and that was my summary about the document. Thank you very much.